rewiring your brain is the number one most effective way to sustainably stop your binge eating long term. I am not talking about a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I'm talking about for the rest of your life. I've implemented my root and rewire process, which is why I haven't binged in 5+ years. It's why in the past month, I've gotten messages from past clients where we haven't worked together for over a year. One client, a year and 4 months. Another client, it's been 2 years since we worked together. I'm still binge free. And not only that, I feel the best I've ever felt in my own skin. And one of my other clients has gone off and started working on her health and fitness goals a little bit more seriously. And she's done that without feeling deprived, without urges popping up because of my root and rewire process. Because when you rewire your brain, your urges stop popping up. I hear this all the time. Well, I was able to not have any urges for like a month, but then they came back. And I'm like, well, because you never gotten rid of them. If you don't actually get rid of your urges, of course they're going to still pop up, which is why it's like so frustrating because you're like, I had a good month. I had a client that worked with me inside of the academy. This was last year. And she said, I had a few months actually where I wasn't binging, but my binging came back. And I said, well, let's explore what you did in those months where you weren't binging. And we came to the conclusion, she's like, honestly, I think I was just like super motivated. Like those months, like I was just really motivated to end this. But that's not going to stop your binging. Like motivation doesn't rewire your brain, or motivation doesn't change the way that you're seeing food. This client that ended up working with me after those, months where she was like, I haven't binged and I felt so good, but it came back. She ended up working with me. I uncovered she needed to work on her relationship with rest. She felt so guilty resting. If you have a hard time resting, you're going to use food for comfort. You're going to use food when you're bored because you don't know how to just be with yourself. I actually just finished up a program inside of Conquer. Inside of Conquer, you get access to all my programs. It's called Permission to Just Be. And I literally went through this, how to actually heal your relationship with rest so that you stop your mindless snacking. So that's something that we worked on together. And then we also worked on adding more pleasure into her life. She was this go-getter, like successful in her career. She would get up super early. She would, quote unquote, force herself to go to the gym, even though she loved it. It was like, I have to do this. And then she would come home and it would be pretty late. She'd have dinner. And then that's pretty much it. And I was like, where's the fun? Where's the joy? Where's the pleasure? And don't get me wrong, you can live a simple life. I love a good simple life. Me, my husband, my walks, my clients, I go to yoga. I'm like, that's the greatest life. I feel so happy. You don't have to do anything extraordinary. But when you feel like I have to go to the gym, I have to do this, and there's no joy and pleasure, you're going to be binging. And this client really loved baking. Like she actually really enjoyed it, and she never allowed herself to bake in fear of binging. So it's another thing that we worked on too, of like being able to bake. Number one, that's going to build up self-trust. Number two, she enjoyed it, so she added more pleasure into her life. And as a result, she didn't feel the need to binge, because when you have pleasure in your life, you don't need a false sense of pleasure through food. When you have a better relationship with rest, you can actually just be with yourself instead of going into the pantry needing something to eat. So these are all things that I help this client work through in terms of rewiring her brain, like shifting the way that she saw rest, shifting her relationship with baking, shifting her relationship to pleasure, shifting her ability to build up trust, to bake when she's home alone because she lived by herself. I want to actually give you a real life example that has nothing to do with food and how this plays out and why rewiring your brain is so important. So your brain thrives off of what is easy and most familiar. So where I live, there is this street that has construction. I feel like it's like a summer thing. It's so funny because like summer is like literally the best month in my opinion. Like I love the summer. I love the sunshine. I love the heat. But this is when a lot of the construction workers have to get their work done because they're not going to obviously do it in the winter. So anyways, there's a bunch of construction going on, but the one path that I take to go to yoga and to go to church, it's blocked off. I know that it's blocked off. I've seen it blocked off week after week after week. It's blocked off. I intellectually know it's blocked off. Yesterday, I was pulling out of my driveway and I saw one of my neighbors pulling out of her driveway as well too. We go to the same yoga studio. I'm like, she's definitely going to yoga. We went to two different classes, but I'm like, she's definitely going to yoga. And so we go and I, pull out of my driveway and I turn left. And then I see my neighbor going right. And then I was like, wait, maybe she's not going to yoga because yoga is left. Like you don't go right, you go left to go to yoga. But she went right. And I was like, oh, maybe she's not going to yoga. So I went left. Then I turned right. And next thing you know, I see the big construction sign being like, you need a detour. And it all clicked. I was like, oh, that's why the neighbor went right, because she remembered that there was construction. Now, it wasn't that I didn't necessarily know that there was construction. I knew that there was construction. My brain entered autopilot. My brain is so used to going left and then turning right to go to the yoga studio. The brain remembers. The brain doesn't even have to think when you're driving somewhere. You're driving to work, you're driving to your yoga studio, you're driving to the gym. Sometimes you don't even have to think. It's like sometimes it's like, how did I even get here, right? It just becomes so familiar. You create this habit in your brain. Every single time you wake up, you get into your car, you drive to work, you go to the gym, your brain remembers that pathway, literally, but also in your brain. Like your brain remembers driving, okay, I turn right, I turn left. And it's also this pathway that you create inside of your brain. So I intellectually knew, oh, there's construction. But because I'm so used to going that way, I just continued going that way. And this happens with your food. You intellectually know that you shouldn't have this certain chocolate because it makes your stomach hurt. And then you get to a point where you kind of just don't even care. You don't even you just don't even care. You don't even think in the moment and you just go and eat it. And you're like, I knew that was not going to make me feel good, but you did it anyways. And it's frustrating. Just like I was like, come on, Lorna, you knew that there was construction. Like, what the freaking heck, right? And it's like you become frustrated because it's like, I know this. You know that you shouldn't, deprive yourself all day and then only have your favorite foods in the evening. You know that. But it's so on autopilot. It's so easy to just continue doing what you've always done because that is what is safe and familiar and what your brain is used to. And I'm telling you, it becomes more frustrated when you know. It's like, oh, I know that food doesn't make me feel good. Why did I eat it? Oh, I know that I shouldn't, deprive myself all day and then only eat my favorite foods in the evening. You know it. And then when you do it, it's like, oh, it's like a stab in the chest because it's like, I know this. Why do I keep on doing this? And do you see how this is not about just remember, Lorna, just remember there's construction. Just remember. It's like you can tell yourself, don't go that route, don't go that route, don't go that route. And you still go down that route. You can tell yourself, don't give in to your urges. Don't give in. Don't give in. Come on, don't give in. Don't give in. And you still give in because you can't think your way out of a binge. You can't think your way out of a binge. You are working against your brain. You're literally fighting against your brain. Like your brain has carved out this pathway. This pathway is familiar. It's indented. It's like you've walked that path so many times. It's familiar, autopilot, don't have to think. And now you're trying to just tell yourself, don't do it. It's challenging. So it's not about telling yourself to not do it. It's not about telling yourself don't binge. It's not about telling yourself just don't have that food. You have to shift your thinking. You have to shift your thinking. Just like I helped this client shift her mindset around baking. I can actually trust myself. The only way that I'm going to be able to trust myself baking when I'm home alone is if I actually allow myself to do it and prove to myself it's nothing to fear. Like I can do this. I can trust myself. This client, adding in more pleasure and joy to her life. She stopped having these urges because she was literally so high on life. So this was just like a real life example. I can think of like so many different examples. There's been so many times where, the toilet paper roll would be done and I would take it out of what's that thing called? Like the silver thing. I would take the roll out of the silver thing and I would put the empty toilet paper roll on the toilet seat. And I would know, like, okay, well, don't use that bathroom because I got to go get new toilet paper. And there would be times I'd still walk in and be like, oh, right, I forgot. Right? It's just so on autopilot. So on autopilot. If you've ever switched things around in your house, maybe you put, your bowls in a different spot and you go to the same spot. You're like, oh, wait, hold on, I forgot. The bowls aren't over here. Because your brain creates pathways. Your brain creates pathways. And this is actually a good thing because, think about habits and routines. Your brain also creates healthy pathways, right? Like you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you don't have to think about it. You get up in the morning, maybe you make your bed, you don't have to think about it. You get up on your first alarm, you don't have to think about it. It's like your brain also creates these very healthy patterns as well too, and that helps you stay consistent. But it's the sabotaging behaviors that your brain also creates patterns with, and that's what you have to rewire. And it's so much simpler than you actually think. Like when you actually understand that binge eating, overeating, emotional eating, boredom eating is all a habit. When you understand that, and by the way, it's not just enough to know that because you can know that and you're like, oh, well, just give it in, I'm further ingraining this habit into my brain. Like you can intellectually know that, but you have to shift your mindset. You have to shift the way that you're seeing food. You have to heal your relationship with rest. You need to start eating actually what you're craving, not pushing off your cravings because that's what actually creates these strong urges. You need to add more pleasure, more joy into your life. You got to build up that self-trust. You got to shift the way that you're thinking. Even the way that you're thinking about your body image, you got to rewire that as well too, because if you're constantly thinking, like I'm so uncomfortable in my own skin, like the body that I want is so far away, then you're going to end up sabotaging. You're literally just going to go and eat more because you think it's so far away. When you think like conquering binge eating is so far away, you're just going to keep on binging because you're thinking like it's this like far off thing in the distance of like, it's so far off. But it's so much closer than you actually realize. It's going to keep feeling far away if you don't do things differently. If you don't actually rewire your brain and you're just trying to tell yourself to not binge, well then of course it's going to feel so far away because nothing changes. You don't get rid of your urges by telling yourself to not binge. You don't build up trust to bake when you're home alone when you just tell yourself, I'm not going to do it because I'm probably going to spiral out of control. Yes, you got to shift your thoughts, but you also got to do things differently. If you want a different result, you got to do things differently. And this is how you rewire your brain out of these habitual cycles. So I wanted to share this example with you, like a real life example, the construction example, and just how easy it is for the brain to form these habitual pathways. And again, it's like you can know there's construction on that street. You can know I got to take a detour. Oh, I'm supposed to go right instead of going left. You can know this. But the brain is just like, I'm so used to going left. I'm so used to going left. I'm so used to eating at night. And you have to rewire those pathways in your brain. This is exactly what I support all my clients with. My root and rewire process. I developed this root and rewire process because once you get to the root of your binge eating and you rewire your brain, it becomes so much easier to stop binge eating because you don't feel the strong urge to binge. The number one reason why you're binging is not because you're stressed or you're bored or you're home alone. None of that. It's literally because you have these urges, and until you actually rewire your brain and eliminate your urges, you're going to continue to binge. But it becomes easier to not binge when you're not having this nagging urge. When you don't feel this strong urge to go into the pantry. When you don't feel this strong urge to binge as soon as your husband leaves the house. When you don't feel this strong urge as soon as you're baking to finish it and all in one night. This is the exact work that I do with my clients. It's why my clients go months and years without binging. It's why I get messages from past clients who I literally have not worked with for a year, 2 years, and they're still messaging me like, I feel so good with my relationship with food. I went off and I had a client and, she wanted to release some weight, and she was able to do that, and she still doesn't binge. She still doesn't have crazy food thoughts, because when you rewire your brain and you do things properly, you can literally go off and do whatever you want, and you don't binge anymore. Like, it's literally like you've rewired your brain out of this habit. There's no fear of like, am I going to revert back to old habits? No. Now, if you just spent 2 months like trying really hard, well, yeah, I'd actually be scared to revert back to old habits because you didn't actually get rid of your urges. You were just managing them. But when you actually rewire your brain, you get rid of these urges, you don't have to worry about, ever being home alone, or you have back-to-back social events, or you're going on vacation for 14 days, or, your mom bought you their favorite cookies and you have them in the house. Like, you can be like one of my clients who's literally had a past sugar food in her pantry for 8 months. She used to binge on it every single night, and she literally forgot about it for the past 8 months. Like, this is actually what can happen for you when you rewire your brain. You forget that food's there. I've had ice cream in my freezer for months. Like, I'm talking months. I literally forgot. I just thought about it yesterday. And I was like, oh. And I open up my freezer how many times? I get my ice cube maker is in there. It's like I go into the freezer like multiple times a day. Forgot about it. No, I'm not a special unicorn. No, my clients are not special unicorns. They just choose to get the support to do things sustainably. You're not looking for a quick fix. If you are looking for a quick fix, I am not the coach for you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you step into your binge-free life. Not just a binge-free week, a binge-free month. Like, I'm talking, you never binge ever again. You're not having crazy food thoughts. You can travel, you can bake, you can be home alone, whatever it is, you have the complete freedom. And when I say freedom, it's not like freedom to eat whatever the heck you want. Like, no, I'm talking freedom to travel, freedom to bake with your kids. I had a client, she's like, man, I am so grateful that I healed my relationship with food because I just baked with my daughter, and the look on her face was priceless. Like, I wasn't even excited about the cookies. I was just excited to see how happy she was to be baking these cookies with me. And that's literally everything. You get your freaking life back. You get your happiness back. Your children see a happy mom. Your children get these memories that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives, the time that you actually chose to bake with them, versus like, oh no, probably not good idea to bake because like, I don't want to spiral into a binge. Like, you can literally do whatever you want. You can go to the park with your kids and be so present. You can go to the water park with your kids and not be comparing your body to other moms. You can be baking and enjoy this present moment with your children. Date nights with your husband. Laugh, joke, have fun, come home, cuddle. Be intimate without like, oh, I'm so bloated. Oh, I hate the way my body looks. Oh, I probably ate too much. Life becomes so much better when you do things sustainably. And you're free, like free from binge eating for the rest of your life. I just get so fired up about this because I know what happens to all the clients that implement the Root and Rewire process. I know what happens for you when you do this work and not search for a quick fix, but you actually do things sustainably. Your entire life changes. Your relationship with your husband changes. The relationship that you have with your children changes. Your sex life improves. Your mental health improves. Your happiness improves. Like, people at work are like, holy moly, like, you're glowing. I had a client and she's like, all my coworkers were asking me like what I was doing because they're just like, you're just so much happier. Yeah, I healed my relationship with food. So, wanted to share this message with you guys. You know that I'm the mentor for you if you're looking for a long-term solution to sustainably stop your binge eating. If you resonated with this and maybe you've tried so many things, you've tried therapy, you're trying to explain binge eating to your therapist, you feel like she doesn't even understand you. You've tried nutritionists, maybe they've told you to just watch your portions. Maybe you've tried to just tell your partner and they're like, well, just don't buy the chocolate, and you want to freaking rip your hair out. I see you. I have past lived experience with binge eating. I will be there. I will be the mentor that's going to help you sustainably end this for good. No quick fixes, but end this for the rest of your life. So you can message me on my Instagram, and I can share the current programs that I have to support you in fully rewiring your brain out of these habitual cycles.